To whom it may concern, it's time you came to your senses. It's not about your legacy, it's about Prince's. When we lost Prince in 2016, many of us who had followed his music, his career and his life, felt as though we had lost a family member ourselves. Such was the impact his music had on our lives. We all felt like we knew him in some way. For many of us, he had been a teacher, a confidant, a friend that understood you when no one else did, an inspiration, a mentor and an idol to so many people on so many levels. Once he was gone, it was inevitable that there would be hard times ahead. But at least we still had his music, his messages to guide us, just like we always did. And of course, we had the famous vault, yet to be discovered. But it seems, from his death through to every single posthumous release, the Purple community are continually at odds, especially those that have a platform and a voice. Now let me tell you, some of the people I've had the honour of meeting and calling friends in the community are some of the best people you could ever wish to know. There is so much generosity, love and respect amongst these people that humbles me, and I hope would also make Prince very proud. Also, I myself have been vocal about things that have disappointed me with how the estate have done certain things, having done several rant videos myself, as like I said at the top, so many of us felt like we knew Prince and feel frustrated when opportunities are missed or certain projects are lacking. But it's all born out of pure love for the man and his music, and wanting to see his legacy treated the way it should be. There have been many people sharing their love on different platforms whilst Prince was still alive, with the lucky ones either getting a like and a retweet in the middle of the night from Prince, and even getting to meet him and getting the seal of approval, which is just beautiful. There are some who took to platforms to share their love of this man after he passed, to simply help deal with the grief, and to share all their experiences and love of Prince, as who else would be able to tell these stories once we're gone? Then there have been the ones who have used his death as a chance to make a buck and a name for themselves. Sometimes it's blatant and obvious, like selling Prince's hair and expecting people to pay to have dinner with you, and on top of that, pay for their travel expenses too, just so you can get your name in a tell-all book they want you to fund. Others are more subtle, and it genuinely goes unnoticed by their followers what's going on. But as they say, you pays your money and you takes your choice. But as the years have gone past, things seem to be getting worse, and people are losing sight of what's important. We have had Lemon Cake Gate with Sheila E., former band members and associates sticking a knife in at every turn. We had the race fiasco with the Sign of the Times Deluxe movie release, with a huge storm erupting about the fact none of the black band members were included on the interviews, with Kat being singled out and getting the blame for wanting silly amounts of money which the producers couldn't afford. Every single tribute from the Super Bowl to the Grammys has been panned for one reason or another, and then there's the Maite, Kirk Johnson or Tyka hate groups, which produce some next level abuse at the best of times, as well as a host of platforms spewing out conspiracy rubbish like Vanity was actually a man to Prince is still alive and is really Tyka. Again, like I said, many people feel protected of Prince and feel they know what he would want and what should be done, so I do understand to a point, and sometimes there's a genuine reason to complain, but I think things have gotten out of hand now. After COVID happened, and after having a few personal tragedies to deal with, which left me with more time than ever to see what was going on social media, I decided to reduce my presence. I was getting sick of seeing the daily arguments and rubbish on Twitter. I was getting drained by being in so many Prince groups on social media, and began losing my focus on why I started this in the first place. I took the decision to step away from the Prince Army Facebook page, which I had been very blessed to have been asked to help jointly run. I stepped away from the Prince Album Reviews Twitter thread series, which included an incredible list of people who were contributing, giving me serious imposter syndrome being in such company. And I stepped back from Twitter itself, now only looking at it once or twice a week. This gave me such a release, and I felt free again, free to just do what I want to do. It reminded me why I started my channel in the first place. It wasn't to get accepted by those already established in the community. It wasn't to get my ego stroked by anyone. It wasn't to get noticed by the estate or Paisley Park. It was to purely share my love, passion and stories about Prince. To talk about the many concerts I'd seen, my thoughts, my memories of my favourite songs and albums, etc. To try and pass on all I had experienced so those who will grow up in a world without Prince would know what it was like for us. And ultimately, it was fun. As soon as it becomes a chore or a job, then something isn't right. So in going through all of this, it really hit home how privileged we are to have this platform, to share and to have people who support and love what you do. To just get one person to watch and listen is humbling to me. I don't care about hitting numbers. It's not about how many subscribers I have or how many views a video gets. It's not about Patreons or merch shops or me. It's about Prince. You have to get past your own egos. None of us have a God-given right to expect anything from anyone. I've never had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing members of Prince's bands. I've not been invited to cover Celebration at Paisley Park or been given opportunities to be involved in any projects. And to those that do, I say fantastic and good luck to you, and I'm genuinely happy for you. There is room for all of us, and we should be just happy that we have this platform and opportunity, and at the end of the day, we do this by choice because we want to. As Prince says in Old School Company, ain't nothing ever come from complaining except a bitter heart, that's true. Thank you for listening.